Hello, guys. Welcome back to Society Mic World. And today I have Simon with me, who's going to be a co host. And we have a very special, talented guest. And he goes by the name of Balan Kash. Hi, bro. How are you?
Good guys. I'm alright. I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
So bro, like I've seen like so many interviews like you've done lah, and a lot of people they keep asking you like what is like your name about and why how you came up with the name, and it's quite simple, like your name Balan and then Kashmir, especially like you got a call from one friend from Kashmir at one point.
There's a lot of misunderstanding about it, so
Mhm.
I'm just gonna straight.
Yeah, clear it.
Okay. My real name is Kogala Balan.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody call me Balan from young. It's my late dad's second name as well. So I always wanted to keep that Balan since my first rap name was Lil Balan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Kashmir thing came because there was a movie called Roja.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I was young, I watched the movie. Then I went to school. One of the teachers asked me what I want to become. I actually said I want to become a terrorist because I didn't know how to say it, right?
Right.
So
Okay.
my dad and mom was called to the school. My mom's a teacher, so the teachers knew my mom. We have to straighten this boy out. He's actually saying a word like this.
Right.
So my dad actually came, laughed about it, and he said, why did you say that? Most Indian fathers will whack first. My
Right,
father
right.
was like, no, tell me why. I want to know. I want to pick your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, no, I like those guys because they're actually standing up for their country.
Mm. Right.
And this other fellow with the rose is crying. So my father knew I was never a lover boy. Then my father understood that I like to stand for something
Mm-hmm.
from a very young age.
It's that activism thing.
Yeah, so my father is like, then you say you want to become a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
They're not terrorists.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a joke in the family. So I remember my father went to Middle East, brought back the scarf.
Mhm. Ah, yeah.
So I used to wear that around the
Mm.
house. So they Kashmiring, why? It was just something that
Oh.
happened way long ago. Then we forgot about it.
Okay.
Then all the way my name was Lil Balan, then became Balance. Then I think it was 2007, around there. Roja was on TV.
Okay.
And my mom was like, hey, you remember that not?
The terrorist.
Then I was like, yo, Balan Kashmir.
Mm.
Then at that year, my group broke up, KLG Squad. Then we recorded a song called Kondatam. It was a full Tamil record. So we needed to like find a new stand for me as a
Right.
solo artist from Balance and everything like. So we put Balan Kashmir and it just worked. And
Mhm.
a lot of people thought I was from Kashmir Stone, but no, it was just that.
I think it has a nice ring to it.
Yeah,
Maybe it had a nice ring to it. Then I went around, but then I think around 2019, there's this rapper called Hardcore. She's huge, lah, bro, from India.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a song for her mixtape in like 2017. So we had a personal relationship, and
Okay.
she's like an OG in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually called and told me something because she was very into that whole activist thingy that was
Right.
happening in Kashmir, India, and everything. She said, I think you should drop that Kashmir thing from your name. And I asked her why. Then she was like, do you know there are girls getting raped here? There's so many things is happening in Kashmir.
Yeah.
Then I was like, yeah, you don't know the essence of your name. And then she was like, now when people put Kashmir on Google, your name is coming up. They might
Mm,
link it
yeah,
up
yeah.
that way.
Like
You
a
don't
big
want
issue.
that,
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay. And I remember like, okay, let's cash money. And I've had a lot of episodes of life because of money. People look down on me because they had money. I was broke. I was in debt and all that. So I said, you know what? It's just my middle finger back to everybody. So
Mhm.
it's okay, Balan Cash lah, fine lah,
Yeah.
Then that brought a new thingy. So whoever that told you like I got a call from Kashmir, from a fan and all that, I don't know where, but
Where it
all
came
that-
from.
you heard it from the horse's mouth. This is the actual
This is the
lowdown.
true and original story
Okay.
from the
Yeah,
man
yeah.
himself.
From the man himself.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But bro, I mean the true origins, like we have to know, man. Do you remember the first rap you've ever written?
Okay, maybe to refine it, maybe like what made you think that you really wanted to do this, and like how did you start?
Okay,
Mm.
I grew up in a typical Indian household.
Right.
Yep.
On Thursday nights, you're allowed to watch TV for half an hour before you go to sleep. Mom's an English teacher, so there wasn't much Tamil content on
Mhm. Mhm.
major TVs that time. So there was this program called Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
by
I love
Will
that show.
Smith.
Yeah.
So TV3 used to play it. So my parents allowed me to watch it.
Mhm.
So here you see a boy that got kicked out of the house, who's staying in a rich family, but he's still swagger, full of life, full
Right.
of color and
Mhm.
everything. Funny fella, naughty fella. I was drawn to that. Then along the way on the Tamil spectrum was Prabhudeva.
Mhm.
There was a movie called Kadalan.
Okay.
So when he was dancing to Urvasi and everything, you're like, yo, he's wearing Reeboks.
right.
He's wearing
Baggy.
baggy pants
Yeah.
and everything. So it was two things at the same time.
Mhm.
Then you had cousin brothers who've gone abroad and came back. Friends, elder brothers who've come back from UK or US with all these CDs.
Right.
And there was a CD that landed in my house that had Naughty by Nature, Hip Hop Hooray. There was this song called Informer, that song,
Mhm.
and a few rap songs in a compilation. So I
Okay.
was like, wow, there's something here. Like, I like it.
Mhm.
And A.R. Rahman was already like Gentleman, like Kadalan, all had a very hip hop flavor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it was that No Problem song with Apache Indian. I was like, yo,
Mm.
this is so dope. Indian boy, but English, ரொம்ப Peter,
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
but you're
Mhm.
drawn to that.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there was a mash of both worlds that I think
and
it
you
was,
can identify with that.
and it all happened around the same time. It was
Right.
like 95, 96, 97. I was very
Mhm.
young. All happened around the same time. Then I just went to high school. Form 1, my friend Thomas Koshi went to
Mhm.
UK and came back.
Okay.
Brought back 2 albums that changed my life forever. One is Tupac Shakur, All Eyes on Me, was a double disc,
Mhm.
and Notorious B.I.G., Life After Death, double
Mhm.
disc.
Okay.
So both these albums, like, yo, I need to buy a rhyme book. Like, I want to write.
Right. Right.
And I was very good with poetry because mom's a teacher.
Yeah.
So they give you poem books.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, the swan went on a loose. Da goose.
Yeah.
Yes,
typical
rhyming.
Right.
Typical
The
rhyme,
rhymes,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So you try to write like how these black guys are writing, but
Mhm.
what would I've wrote about? I woke up today. I went to play.
right. Right.
Yeah.
Simple.
So that's
At that time.
simple stuff. So
Yeah.
if you tell me to like remember my first rap, I
Can't
wouldn't.
really remember.
Wouldn't
But
remember.
I think those years were the shape of me understanding what is a thing called hip hop,
Mhm.
rap. Then
But it's interesting, like you mentioned about like you starting off with poetry and all that. A lot of rappers started that way. Like even Tupac, so he was a poet first. A lot of people were like, he's very smart the way he talks and all that.
education, bro. Like
Yeah,
it
education.
is because I had a great mom
Mhm.
that made sure education is very important, very vital
Right.
at home with 2 of my other sisters and me. So I was the only son, so they had extra attention on me while I was growing up in those years.
Mhm.
So they gave me everything I could ask for, like books and everything. So I had access to all that, and maybe that's why I think that world opened up.
Mhm.
அதுக்குன்னு வந்து like I cannot say like somebody else didn't. I have Indian friends who didn't have those kind of books.
Right.
மச்சான் நான் தமிழ் படம் பார்த்தேன், வைரமுத்து எழுதுன தமிழ்ல நான் கத்துக்கிட்டேன்.
That's
It's-
also
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
something, right?
You didn't have a book, but you had those Tamil movie songs
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
allowed them to understand how beautiful Tamil language could be. So
I think it's the access to having all those things, but making use of it is up to the individual, right?
very
whether-
very true,
whether
very very
you
true.
want
Your
to do
parents
it or
can
not.
give you everything, but
Yeah.
if you don't take access to it, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
Even today's generation, it's the same thing that
Mhm.
happened 20 years ago or now.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, this one interview you did for Hits.fm is quite like 2015 lah.
I don't know if you can
And
remember.
Yeah, I don't know if you can remember, but you mentioned something that you use different parts of your life as motivation.
Right.
Not so much like you refer to books and all that, but within your own life itself you could
Right.
find motivation, right? And you mentioned something that your ex like told you that, oh, if your song plays in the radio, I'll shave my head. So did she end up shaving her head?
I don't know whether she did, but it's so crazy that you actually brought that up. But
Mhm.
I was looked down a lot, bro. Not only by one person, by a whole bunch of people.
Right.
I think that 2012 to about 2010 to about 2015 was years, was very bad years. Family was going through a turmoil. I was finding out what is relationship. Relationships are very complex.
Right.
It can start out very beautifully, it can end very ugly. You tend to have friends around you that use you.
Yeah.
A lot of things can,
Mhm.
I learned it the hard way. So I took all that not in a very negative aspect. I took it, okay, it's another lesson. It's never a defeat, it's always a lesson. I
Right.
learned that in a very young age because I've lost a lot in my life. And I was never envious of somebody who had it better than me. Maybe that it was their journey. They have their own sets of challenges. So I took it all this. People who said like, oh, you can't do this? Fine, I'll try to do it. And not to prove them, but to prove myself.
Yeah.
And at that time, to get on radio was not easy. You have to be most probably part of a label, because labels had power to push your songs to radio. Probably your song has to be that good,
Yeah.
like really good, to be on
Yeah.
Hits FM. And being on just one chart show is okay, but being on national rotation, like you're hearing a song every hour, was a different flex altogether.
Yeah.
So I think it was a song called Live My Life from my mixtape that just went everywhere. I was getting 13-year-old Chinese boys coming telling me like, I love this song helped me through my day.
Right.
I was like, because I just said I just want to live my life and I don't care what people say. And I think it was that phase that, I understood like everybody has their own set of journeys.
Yeah.
So you don't try to prove one person wrong or anybody wrong. Just prove yourself right. If just say tomorrow you want to build a house and you have no carpenter experiences, do it lah. People, your own best friend might say, "Hey, உனக்கும் carpenterக்கும் எவ்வளவு தூரம் இருக்கு, எவ்வளவு கஷ்டம் தெரியுமா?" They will tell you all that probably because of two reasons. One, they either really love you, they don't want to see you disappointed, or they are just like built that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They come from a place where they built to say all these things to somebody because they can't do it.
Right.
It's their insecurities.
It's like other people have told them that already.
yeah.
So they just don't like you.
Yeah.
Right.
But some people mean it well because they don't want to see you disappointed.
True,
Like
true.
all my mom, my sisters, my brother-in-law who told me to quit music because it's tough.
It is. Yeah.
It's not easy to make money out of it. It's not easy to build a career. It's not overnight.
Yeah.
Not everybody goes viral.
Yeah.
Like, and I come from a generation where there's no thing called viral.
It's just the radio.
You
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
You work
Yeah.
really hard to
Mhm.
get shows. To there's no brand placement back in the days if you're not part of a label or if you're not a commercial artist. The underground artists or the upcoming artists got nothing. So we only had the clubs, underground shows, and certain big shows that people were nice enough to give us,
I see.
and radio, because that's where your royalties come, and you have to sell CDs. And if you're lazy, you don't. If your songs are not good, it doesn't sell.
So did you actually like go through the streets and like give your mixtape and all that?
And
Damn.
And dude, I'm bloody good at it. You can
Mm.
ask anybody from my generation or even my OGs give it up to me because I sold CDs like a hustler, and I'm very proud of that because
that's
I didn't
respectable.
give them a half-ass album. I gave them good songs.
Mhm.
If you like it, you buy it.
Mhm.
And there were people even in their generation, dude, what are you gonna do? Sell CDs? Cha, what, you pirate or what? 'Cause, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because people would put their insecurities on you,
True,
Correct.
right? Because they couldn't sell the CDs.
Yeah.
Or they tried music and they gave up halfway.
Mm-hmm.
If you are 25, 26 and you're selling 3,000 CDs, that's like $60,000-$70,000. That's like more than half of your friends make in a year.
Yeah.
And you do that in like say 2 months.
Wow.
We had friends who were doing that. We had some label artists couldn't sell more than 2,000 CDs. The underground boys were selling thousands, especially the Indian boys from that 2007 all the way up to 2013. They were racking up CDs like crazy.
Oh, serious?
Bro, it's so funny.
Mm.
2022, I released an album, an EP called Terima Kasih Hip Hop. Yeah, like
Okay.
6 songs.
Mm-hmm.
CDs are dead, right? In a generation today, CDs are dead
No,
because
it's
you have
all
everything,
online.
Spotify,
Yeah.
everything. And my partner Navin, he said, "You still gonna do CDs?" I'm like, "You think I should give it a try?" "Yeah, give it a try. Why not?" And nobody sell. Even the printers were not available anymore. There was like maybe one guy from that generation that was still doing it, and he asked me, "You sure you want to print CDs?" I'm like, "Yeah lah, just do lah." I put it on TikTok Shop.
Okay.
I did like a nice promo.
Mm-hmm.
I put it out. I registered my TikTok shop. I went to sleep. I woke up. I was to my shocking, bro. There was almost like 90 people who ordered.
Wow.
Oh.
Huh.
How many did you list out?
I printed 1,000. I
Okay.
sold almost 800.
Wow.
That's
And I
really
gave
good.
away,
It's damn crazy.
and I gave away like to fans, to some competitions. And
Mm.
people just bought it.
Mm.
And I am asking people, why are you buying? They're like, support you, bro. Then I'm like, do you have a CD player still? Or somewhere in my house, lah, bro. Because most of the cars don't have it.
Yeah.
Everything.
And most of them told me, please sign and give, bro. I want to keep. Right?
It's a collector item.
There was some Indian Annes from Johor. I remember this name. He bought 100 on TikTok shop. And I called him. I had his number. I called him. I said, Anne, I'll cancel the order. Why are you buying at this price? Why are you even buying 100? Just give my thambis all. Nah, who got CDs nowadays? பரவாயில்லையா ஒரு collector item மாதிரி வச்சுக்கிட்டோம் அவங்களும் தெரியட்டும் சரிண்ணா பட் ஏன் 100 வாங்குறீங்க நீ நல்லா இருக்கணும் யா I was like, dude, they have still people like this. It made me believe like there are right people, right audience, if your intentions are true.
Right.
So I come from that foundation where I'm very proud of my music. So I will sell it. If you buy it, you buy it. You reject me, it's okay. And like there is another guy out there that would buy it. I'm not going to look down on my music just because one person told me Alfred's music is shit. Then you're not built for this, bro.
Yeah.
You're not.
Criticisms everywhere, right? With this.
Yeah, and this generation, wow.
The amount of people.
Open your TikTok, bro.
That's the
Yeah.
reason why I don't have it. Man.
But to everybody's best interest, opinion, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Definitely.
But you can never see it from where they are coming from. From their upbringing, their environment, how hurt they are or how entitled they are. So you can never look down on somebody just because of their opinion.
Right.
Yeah, because like you mentioned also, like everyone goes through different phases in their lives, and you can't really judge anyone nowadays.
Yeah,
And
like
it's their own opinions, whatever they want to feel.
I have this thing. My friends all look up to me because I say this. Too many appangkase payans nowadays. I'll say that openly because I respect a son who takes money from his dad or mom and doubles it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't look up to boys or girls who take money from their parents and spend it like it's theirs. Like you're riding your dad's car, dude.
Yeah.
What's the flex all about?
Exactly, man.
You know, I always say that. So that when people in that entitlement comment you, take it with a pride, bro. Because you caught his attention. Because his attention is always on materialistic things.
You heard them in places. That's why they're like that.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Like you hurt him so bad when he's hearing the song. Maybe his own friend laughed at him. Or his own girlfriend like, உனக்கு தேவையா அதெல்லாம்? You know how it feels for a man.
Yeah.
And then that's why they come and comment.
Yeah, and they come like, you know, டேய் பண்ணாமரான்ல இருக்கடா டேய் நீலாம் நான் தான் பேசுறேன். I'm like, dude, I stay in my own house. I bought my own house. I'm not living off my parents. This is my hard earned from music and from all the things over the years. Can you say the same thing about you? You know, that's why the movie VIP means the world to me. That movie and the soundtrack and everything. Wow,
Beautiful movie.
Yeah,
It's good. It's very good.
உன் அப்பம் பேர் எடுத்துட்டா உனக்கு அடையாளமே இல்லை. Like I say that to so many people. I put people in their places with that understanding of life. Because I lost my dad very, very young. And if my dad was around, all my friends told me, Cha, I don't think you're past 26. ஒன்னும் நீ அடிச்சு கொண்டிருப்பானுங்க இல்லாட்டி நீனும் அதே மாதிரி ஆயிருப்ப. Because you're so entitled. Parents are meant to spoil their kids.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
Parents,
right?
yeah.
Parents will spoil the kids.
Yes.
But there's a line to draw.
Correct.
As a child, you need to draw the line with
You
your
need
parents
to
too.
take
Like,
responsibilities as well. You know, you need to start.
That's when
Doing
you
it
grow
yourself,
up,
yeah.
when you draw the line yourself.
Yeah.
that's when you grow up.
Yeah.
What if your father or mother takes away everything from you today and tell, go out there and earn it
Struggle.
yourself?
Survive.
You know, some kids are not built for that.
Yeah.
You know, they're not. That's when they make the wrong decisions and everything like that. So
Yeah,
it's I take that very importantly. Like that's why when I meet my juniors or nieces or nephews, I say like, you had it easy, bro. Like I always tell I treat my nephews and nieces like they're my friends, so they can relate to me. I say y'all had it easy, like your parents didn't. They come from a generation where they didn't. Because I know my grandparents on both sides, they were not easy people. They come from a tough place.
Right.
So today we are sitting here and doing these kind of things. We are so gifted. That
Yeah.
we our forefathers have done something
Yeah,
right
man. Yeah, man.
for us to even have
To have a
this.
platform here
Yeah.
to
Today,
share
right.
our opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, we've come a long way. Why jeopardize that? Why
Mhm.
put shame to that?
Mhm.
You know. So
So, do you have a question?
Yeah, since we're talking about music and all that stuff, right? Just want to ask you about. I love one of your songs called "Start That Tiruvilla." Amazing.
thank you.
Still listen to it till today. Just want to ask you, like, where did you get the idea to do that song? And also, I know you've worked with a music director from India, Anirudh.
Yeah.
Just wanted to ask you about all that, like how. I mean, it's a good. We are very proud of you for doing that
Thank you.
and joining the music industry in India as well. So just want to find out a few opinions from you, like what.
I think 2015, one of my brothers from college time, I knew him, his name is Begna. He started a company and Anirudh came to Malaysia in 2015. So I knew all the upcoming guys. So he called me, he's like, can you group all of them up to perform for the show? 'Cause I
Mhm.
got the gig. So we got all my buddies, everybody at that time, and we all performed. We did the opening. So 2 days before the show, we went to a club to just party.
Okay.
So the DJ
Uh-huh.
played one of my videos, this song called Gotta Go On Refix. That's where I first said Macam Magic.
Mhm.
It's a black and white video.
Okay.
So that time I was just showing my bars lah on that song.
Mhm.
So this guy was watching that. He's like, bro, is that you? And I'm like, yeah, that's me, bro. He's like, damn, bro, your English is really good. I said, thanks, brother. And then he saw some other Malaysian videos as well. And he's like, yo, you guys are crazy, amazingly good. Then the show finished. Then we kept in touch. So I went to India a couple of months after that for a show
Okay.
that my friend Ashwin and Priya got me for a dentist students.
Mhm.
So before going back, I went to their studio to pass some gifts from Malaysia. And my mixtape was inside. So
Okay.
he heard my mixtape, called my brother in KL and said, this guy is really good. I'd like to try to give him something. And then Vignani told him like, oh, this guy lost his dad very young. He's been putting his life into this. If you give him an opportunity, that'd be great. He said, yeah, I think he's dope, We tried one song, it didn't come out.
Mhm.
Okay.
It didn't work because it's too much in English and that song and that movie was very Tamil based
Okay,
and stuff
okay.
like that.
Mhm.
And I was disappointed. I was broken hearted. And I was like, wow, if I'd have got this song, it's a huge song. And I was like, but that year when we did that Anirudh show in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
I needed a new song to perform to the crowd,
Yeah.
right? I was performing Maria, Kondatam, and the songs I had before that. So I went to Switch Studio. Switch had a studio in Bangsa. And there's this artist from Korea that I really listened to that time,
Mm.
G-Dragon.
Okay.
So he had a song and the instrumental was available.
Mhm.
So I rapped on top of the instrumental to perform for the show.
Okay.
Just to hype the crowd, a nice dope beat. Finish lah. I performed, finished. After a week, Switch calls me and said, bro, I took your vocals and built a beat on top of it.
Okay.
Okay.
He had started the Rola beat already.
damn.
So early
Ooh.
2015, he had the
So you
song
didn't
done.
even know the song was being made.
Yeah, he had my vocals. That same vocals that I rapped on the original
Okay.
song, he had the vocals. So he built on top of that a beat.
Mhm.
And then he called me over and I said something is missing and we added the fireworks. We stopped the song. When we come through, start that Tiruvilla. It's supposed to go ta-na-na straight away, but no, we
Then
stopped
there's
it
the
and we added the fireworks.
Yeah.
Tiruvilla out.
Yeah.
So
That's
I remember,
was
that was
nice.
just
I
really
remember
good.
Switch found it on YouTube, added it. I know the song was done.
Mhm.
So the whole of 2015, all the shows, I was performing the song.
Yeah.
And people like hearing the song, but they cannot go and hear it anywhere.
Right.
So when 2016, Anirudh came again, I performed it and he's like, bro, that song is a banger. By that time, the song was completely done.
Okay.
We performed it. And he said that song is a banger. Then that's when Hola Amigo happened. I went to India to shoot a song called Uppu Mutta
Mhm.
with TJ and my friend Nadisha. So I had the opportunity to go to Anirudh's studio and he's like, bro, I have something for you to listen. You like this beat? I said, yeah, it's dope. And that time trap music was very new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to write something on this? I say, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, you can take it home to KL. No, I'll write it now.
Mm.
So I sat down there, I wrote. His engineer Srinivas was there and a friend, his violinist Anantu was there. So I recorded it and he was like, this is dope. Let's lay it down. We laid it down. But it's never promised it's going to happen.
True,
true. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just
Yeah.
you record and happen. So I came back to KL. Then I think after a week he called the brother of mine and said, tell Balan, go tell his mother he made it. The producers liked the song. And they paid me. And I proudly, I think it was 3 a.m. in the morning, me and my best friend Naveen were sitting down for the song to come out, to hear it. And I felt like, okay, I'm done, I'm good. Then I went to SIMA Awards. Anirudh's team introduced me to Sony people from India. And they said, you have a song that everybody talks about. Can we talk more about the song? We like to, purchase it from you. Then I went around looking for sponsors. The Vignane's company sponsored me, which is my company too. And then we put a whole big video together. And then we sold it to India. And India pushed it. And we knew the song is going to work.
Yeah.
Because that time, all the videos that was coming out in Malaysia was cars, women.
Yeah.
It was that culture, right? I
Yeah.
was like, okay, we're going to go cultural. We're going to show a temple, this whole thing. Let's be in a veshti and everything. To a point, people thought we shot it in India. Because we kept it that colorful.
Right.
We roped in Candyman because I felt his work was not justified until that time.
Okay.
He has done music video, was dope, but nothing at this level. So the whole team that I got at that time, Switch was great on the beat. Candy did a great job on the visuals. Then after a few months, that company that put out this project couldn't go on because the big brother I was mentioning passed away. So I was in the middle of nowhere, like broke, dead, gone. And I didn't know how to pursue my career anymore. And then, but started Tirula, kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It was in every club, it was in everybody's car, it was everywhere. And they started getting me shows that kept me afloat. And then 2018 I got married and life turned a whole different new page.
Wow.
So that 2015 to 17 was that one by one step. And then I wanted to stop music, but 2018 picked up, and then it was shows after shows after shows.
Damn, so just before things got like better, right? You really hit like a low point.
I think rock bottoms are needed.
Right.
A lot of people take rock bottoms in a very hard way. Yeah, I did too. But I had great friends, bro. I had like a friend of mine called Navin, Gopi, all these few people that
kept you going
far.
Yeah.
Like pick yourself up, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Nada. I thought you need that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
உனக்கு ஒரு நண்பன் இருக்கணும்.
Yeah. Things
உன்னை
very
தூக்கி
important.
விடுறதுக்கு. நீ எத்தனை நண்பன் வேணா வச்சுக்கோ. ஆனா ஒருத்தர் இருப்பான். கதையே இல்லை. பார்த்துக்கலாம். Like, you need that. When you have that, the world is yours, bro. And I had a few of those.
Wow.
I was looking for friendship in wrong places. People that I thought they would do anything for me were not the people. But the people that were always with me, that I was not even spending time with or anything, for 6 months not talking, they were the one that came pick me up in a snap.
Right.
மச்சான் பாலுங்க என்ன பிரச்சனை மச்சான் நான் வரேன். So you learn friendship, you learn relationship, you learn life, all that stuff at the same go. Then from 2018 it is a whole different journey altogether for Balan Kash. That's when I changed my name too, Balan Kash.
Balan Kash.
So I was like,
2018.
Yeah, I was like, okay, enough. This Balan Kashmir is enough. Let's try something fresh off.
Are you still producing music now?
Yeah, I'm working on my first Malay album.
Malay album.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Do you know like a rough estimate when it's going to come out?
The first single drops in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Nice. Okay.
The full album should be out by Merdeka because it's a government grant by My Creative Ventures. So I went to pitch for an album. I wanted to pitch a Malay album. And they asked me why. I said it's my national language.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that shouldn't stop. Just because I'm Indian, it shouldn't stop me from making national language music. And since we have Jacqueline Victor, we have Devi Arumugam, we have Reshmonu, Sasi the Don, Yogi B, Santesh, and all these people, no one has actually cracked into a market that is a nationwide market.
Right.
And I think we haven't had an urban name there. Carry yourself well. You have a good resume. You speak the national language well. Because நம்ம ஆளுங்கலாம் தெரியாதா பேசினாலும் ஒரு பேலாட்டோட பேசுவோம் வேணுமெனுக்கு நம்ம அந்த மலாய் வந்து அந்த ஃபார்ம் 5ஓட முடிஞ்சிடும் எஸ்பிஎம்மோட முடிஞ்சிடும் அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து அது நம்ம பார்க்கவே மாட்டோம் எப்படி இருந்தாலும் நம்மளோட ஃபவுண்டேஷன் நம்ம வரக்கூடாது நம்ம தமிழவங்க அங்கேருந்து வந்திருக்கோன்னு
Malaysian Indian
ஆனா நீ அதையும் மறக்க கூடாது.
Right.
அதுதான் உன்னோட நேஷனல் லாங்குவேஜ்னா அந்த இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ். தமிழ் இஸ் the oldest language in the world, no doubt bro. I know that. I have that பற்று. I'm about to send my daughter to a Tamil school. Not a lot of people can say that. But you have to also understand this is your national language.
Yeah.
And you have identity, you're a Malaysian. So that's why I was like, I'm going to do a Malay album. And everybody was against it, except my composer Naveen and a few friends. He's like, Macha, I think right move. And as a musician, you need challenges, bro.
Right.
ஒரே சட்டியில் வந்து ஒரே குதிரை ஓட்டிகிட்டு இருக்க மாதிரியே அதே பாட்டு அதே லைக் how far
ஒரு சேலஞ்ச் இருக்கணும்.
ஒரு சேலஞ்ச் உனக்கு வேணும். Like I feel I needed a challenge for myself. That's why it's like I'm producing that album. It's called Check Up. So let's see how the society and the country accepts it. I think it's amazing,
right?
Because it's not club music. I'm sick and tired of making club musics.
Bro, so like, I mean, I feel like you talk a lot about this, about like, you have like an activism thing with you. It's something like, you know, Tupac also had. He always talk about the realer stuff from the ground. You know,
don't even compare me like that.
Bro, honestly. Even the song you did with Macha Magic, right? You highlighted things that, how to say, that is not very often highlighted. People don't usually listen to them, you know. It's like, oh, they are business owners and all. Okay, so what? You know, but you highlighted them. That's part of the song, you know. So I'm curious to find out, you know, you have like millions of views and all that on YouTube and all, you know. Do you still face like people who are like, you know, uncomfortable with you with the discrimination? You know how like you're walking behind some lady and suddenly she starts speeding up. Do you still face stuff like that?
I think it comes... Okay, I think, right? It needs to start at school.
Right.
Right? Like our school teachers need to play a big role. Parents in all communities, I don't mean Indian communities, all communities to play a part to teach our kids that are growing up now how to handle that in years to come.
Right. Yeah.
Because every community got messed up people. Every community has bad apples. But it's just sad to say the smallest group of the major race of Malaysia are highlighted more because they're a very small group. So even if 10% of them do something,
it appears
it'll appear big, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And media plays a part. A lot of us play a part on like questioning those things. Like, yo, why is only this news coming out? But don't make it into a race gatekeeping stuff. And we need to start at home, start at school, how to break that, to not look down and just, hey, you do something wrong, let Apu and catch you.
Yeah.
You see an Indian man, lock your doors, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's wrong for you to react the same way, looking at Chinese fellow and lock the door and make the fellow feel uncomfortable. The fellow be like, what's wrong with this fellow? That's the same way you feel, right?
Right, yeah.
But there's a different approach to it. I feel, let your action speak. The way you carry yourself. There's things in our community that we need to be really proud of, and there's a lot of things in our community that we should be very ashamed about. And those are the things that we highlight more on TikTok and social media and everything.
Yeah.
You don't see millions of views of a sports person that is top 10 in the world right now being highlighted, but you will see somebody dancing to a song being highlighted more. Where's our priorities?
Yeah.
So it starts with us too. But our generation, we pass.
Yeah.
Now we shouldn't pass the trauma down lah. That is the most important thing. So it starts at home, starts at kids. I still go through it, bro. I stay in Klang.
Oh.
Try going to CIMB at 11:30 at night. Park your car. You can drive a normal car, like I drive a Nissan Sentra, or I can drive my Jaguar and go. I will get the same reaction.
Same.
If I'm driving a Jaguar, okay, I did something wrong to get this car.
Yeah.
If I drive a normal Nissan where I'm trying to save petrol and not get stuck in traffic like with an expensive car, still look down. You know,
cannot win.
You know, you know, whichever way.
Yeah.
So I came to a point like I'm not immune to it. I don't condone it, but I came to a point like, okay, there's better ways to it. Prove yourself lah. be on billboards,
Mm.
be on newspapers,
Mm.
be on social media with a strong approach of being all Malaysian. People
Right.
might start looking at you and the community around you differently.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so let's approach it that way.
Mm.
Maybe we just started. We need probably 20 years before the perception changes.
Right.
But it's a start, right?
It's a start.
Thank you so much,
No worries.
Thank
Balan.
you so much, man.
No
You've
worries.
given us very good insights,
Thank you.
and yeah, I think a lot of people can learn from you, and you're doing a good job.
Don't learn from me, bro. Learn from
No, I
yourself.
mean you're giving good advice and a lot of things.
I think it's because the teacher thing. But before I end, I'd like to share this with everybody.
Mm.
I'm an activist about this. As much as attention that we give international presence in our country, I think it's our responsibility to give the same presence to our brothers and sisters that are doing so many great things in our country. If they throw an art show, go watch it. If they throw a concert, go support it.
Mhm.
And the Indian artists in Malaysia right now has come to a point they're only performing at clubs, weddings, birthday parties, and they're opening acts at international concerts. I pray it comes to a day where they do their own concerts and it's sold out
Mhm.
with 1,000 people, 2,000 people. You put them in a pedestal where they have businesses that they can run their lives.
Right.
We don't we idolize the wrong leaders with the gold chains, with the big cars, with the materialism, and we look down on a lot of people in this community. They are average heroes, but they are taking care of the family in the most purest intention. I think those kind of things has to really, really shape the next generation to come. Thank you. My name is Balan.
There you
Right.
have it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.